What's up, guys? Welcome to another video in the series where we model a 1967 Chevrolet Camaro. Today we will be concluding with the external parts of the vehicle. So what's left? First of all, we will start with the logos around the sides and front of the car. Then we will move over to the side mirrors, the door handles, and then we'll do something we skipped or missed the last time, which is the tire treads. Now, of course, we don't need to be so detailed, especially considering the level of how far we want to render. So it's really dependent on how quickly we can go through these listed items, and if we can, I'll go over to the shocks if I can, depending on how much time this takes. Okay, so let's begin. So for the logos, we have the ability to add text. Okay, so as you can see, our text can be is like any other text, but in this it looks like it's a 3D text which we can edit by tabbing into edit mode. You see our cursor where we can basically write out what we want. In this case, I want to write out SS, and there we go. SS logo at the front. I'll just rotate it along the x-axis by 90 degrees. Okay, and then I'll just move it to the front. Yeah. Okay, now while we can actually give some depth to this, okay, and we'll just go over to this portion here, the object properties, and click it. Or we can add or remove resolutions. The default one of 12 is okay in this case. You can see as we remove it or add it, it gives it more or less resolution as 5. Okay, make that 8 should do. Then yeah, we can also bevel it, give it some bevel depth if we want, but in this case we don't want to give it any bevel. So we could also extrude it, which is what we want to do in this case. So I'll just give it an extrusion to give it, depth. And yeah, that's about as much as I think is a little too much. Just go down. So okay, so once we are satisfied with the look of our mesh, I can just hit this and select convert mesh. We want to convert it to a mesh from a curve or metadata or surface or text, and now we have a mesh. You can see now if we tab into edit mode rather than before where we could actually change the text, we see poorly designed mesh, which doesn't matter in this case because it won't be deforming much. If it would, we would have to retopologize this. Some of the topic we won't be handling in these videos, considering this hard surface. Okay, so as with all meshes, we can select faces, edges, and vertices, and basically manipulate it as we want. But in this case, we don't, so I will just tab out of edit mode and first set the origin to center of mass, and then scale it down along that origin. Okay, so once I have this properly positioned, once I have it properly scaled and positioned, I think this should do. Just want to push it in, not too much. Make sure it isn't crossing with our grill. Okay, and once I'm good, I can always duplicate. I can do with my mesh. In this case, I want to push it over to the side here. I'll rotate this on the z-axis by 90 degrees, and just reposition it. Y-axis. Take this a little along the z-axis. So just basically matches the angle of that part of the pentacle. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll just apply all our transforms and mirror it. Yeah. Or I guess this mirror is facing the wrong direction. So what do? I can always I'll apply this so that I have two different objects, I guess. Oh no. I'll just duplicate this, then move it over to the other side. Okay, and first of all, I'll set the origin to center of mass, rotate it along the z-axis by 180 degrees. Okay. It should actually be rotated more. I'll just rotate it by hand. Okay. So next I'll add another text. And where's my text? Always so. Okay, and this time I'll type Camaro. Okay, and out of edit mode. Oh, I want to change the text or the font rather. So on that font, I'll select, and I click that. It takes me to my fonts folder in C Windows fonts. That's usually the default location of fonts. You can always pick a different font from that font, from the from the list of fonts you have. So in this case, I'm looking for a Comic Sans, if and it should exist. CEO should be up. Here it is. Oop, here it is. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't have a sans, but I guess that's what I'm looking for. And yeah, I mean that's the closest to the Camaro font, right? So I'll just rotate this along the x-axis by 90 degrees, and then come over to geometry and extrude it like I did at first. Okay, then object and convert. So there's my Camaro. I'll just rotate this about the z-axis by 90 degrees, and then just position it like I did the first one. I'll just scale it down. Probably should be somewhere here. Now right click this, set origin to center of mass, scale it further down. I'll rotate this. Okay. So there we go. Now we still have a logo to go, but at this stage, I think I'll just skip that. That's too much hassle for too little gain. I'll okay, yeah, I can actually scale this. Can I? I can scale it rather than. First of all, I'll duplicate. Just push it a bit along to this side. Okay, a bit along, and that's my Camaro. And then I'll scale this. Scale it. I'll scale it. I'll leave this as 1, -1, -1. That should flip it. That should flip it. I hope. Yes, it did. Yeah, that's it. That's a better way. I guess I should have also scaled it. You know what? I can always just rotate it along the wire. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so the next thing is side mirrors. Okay, but before then as you can see, I've rearranged my mesh collection, my scene collection, and just the way I like. It's not compulsory to have it in this exact manner, but I choose to do it like this. Tires, a tire collection. All my wheels and tires go here. I put my front with the lights and this grill and headlamps and all that in the front, the windows, the windshield, side windows and the back window, all in this windows collection, and then the main panel and the door panels in the body, and every other thing in the exterior here. So I'll select this exterior, so I believe that should create my next items in that exterior, and then I'll hide everything else. You know what? I'll just select my scene collection and hide my meshes. That way I want to create everything else outside of this. I'll go to the front view, and then I will make sure I'm in object mode, add a cylinder. See, my cylinder is added outside of my meshes. Okay, and then I'll push this down to just 8 vertices. I don't want it to be too dense, considering I will subdivide it. And then make this thin, and I'll leave this at a depth of 2 and scale this down later. Okay, one more thing, I will rotate it on the y-axis by 90 degrees. Okay, and that's done. I'll tab into edit mode and select edge select mode, Ctrl R, plus 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 plus. Just do that 2 more times to add this number of edge loops, and then I'll tab back into object mode, Ctrl A to apply all transforms. I want my scale, rotations, and position to default back to 0, so it applies everything so that it will make this positioned and oriented at 0 before I apply a simple deform modifier and select bend, and then I want to bend this on this axis, that's the Z axis, by about, I think, 180 degrees. Let's see what that looks like. I think it looks good. Okay, I'll then rotate this along the Z axis by 90 degrees. Okay, I think this is what I want, and I'll apply this. Go into edit mode, make that transparent. I will then take this out. I'll delete those faces. Okay. So I was just trying to get this bend. This is going to serve as my, if I unhide my meshes now, come out of edit mode and then push this out of the way up just somewhere here. I'll scale this down. Scale this down, and well, where I guess it should be. This thing can get really finicky at times. Okay, so push this inwards. Okay. I want to extrude this. Pick this, extrude this out. EX, or rather Y. Okay. I guess I should still scale this a little bit more. Scale it. Yeah. So next let me just push this up a bit. Let me push this up a bit. In. Okay, so wait, I'm a little too much. Okay, next go over to the handles, door handles. Next, I want to model a tire tread. So I have my image of a tire tread selected here. I will go into my model and just drag the thread out, drop it into my scene. Okay, I need to position it anywhere. Say for the fact that I want to make it about the size of my tire. I'll just unhide everything else, position it just under there, so that it's just about the same width as my tire. This isn't necessary, it's just easiest things down the line. Okay, I'll just re-expose and hide my meshes, and then I'll zoom in quite a bit. Shift A to add a plane, and then I'll scale it down, way down. And make this transparent, because in this case it's easier to work like that. Tap into edit mode and just basically try to match the threads. Of course, I don't have to be super exact. I won't. Duplicate that, position that, back into edit mode, press the select mode, delete that, and then duplicate that, put this in the position. Okay, and then one more, just duplicate this. Okay, so as soon as I get this, I'll just take this, shift duplicate, then rotate it along the x-axis, rotate it along the y-axis. Okay, now just select everything and join them. Okay, and one more thing. Select everything, extrude into edit mode. And select everything, extrude along the Z-axis to give it some volume. Okay. Now duplicate this. Duplicate this along the Y-axis. Just basically repeat that process. I want to make this roughly 4 times the actual width of the tire. About, I think. Then I'll just shift, join everything. Okay, and then I'll just drag this into my references to hide it. And then I will select this, set origin to 3D cursor, and then geometry to origin. So I center that. And then I'll go into edit mode. Select my face. My face is. And make sure I select every face. And then I will add a simple deform modifier bend, and then I will rotate this on the x-axis by 90 degrees so that it deforms along the proper axis, and just basically type in 360 rotation angle. Probably want to move this a little bit more, so let me make this 364 basically until it closes. Then when I get it to close, I think this should be 365 ready. Okay, I'll apply. Come out of edit mode, apply. Okay, then it's selected, I'll just right click, set origin to center of mass, and then position this just about the center of the tire. Scale is down. Okay. here. I need to scale this along the x-axis. There we go. And then next step is to just basically apply that to all the other parts, all the other tires. Okay, I've gone ahead to complete the tires. So if you look closely, you'll see that I have aligned the threads properly to the tires, and and um, moved it across, duplicated the tires, and positioned them into the 4 areas. Also, outside of recording, I just made a little changes, made some fixes to properly more properly align the grids. Added an extra slit here for the second, for the windows, and separated the boot of the car, the trunk of the car as it's called in some parts. And then I properly positioned the bumpers front and side. Added a little sphere thingy or cylinder thingy to the back for the logo and for the key lock. And I also rearranged the back a little bit so it will look much more appealing. Added tail lamps as well as these small little lamps here, just to give it as much detail as I can without boring you guys watching. And then I did one more thing. I set the shading mode to smooth like this, so it was flat, which looks like this for quite a number of things, not just the body, the body, the doors, virtually every part, including the tires, had a flat shading. I set it to smooth shading, and then to ensure that that doesn't apply even to sharp corners, I went down to object data properties, normals, and down here I selected auto smooth and left the angle at 30. So that means that for angles less than 30 degrees, it smooths out the faces and gives an appearance of being smoothly shaded. But for angles greater than 30, like this one, and to some degree this one, it sharpens, it shows the sharpness. And I did that for virtually every part of the car, including the glasses, all the glasses, back glasses, the windshield, the wheels, the bumpers, and okay, I'll need to do it for this too. Just right click, shade smooth. See how it looks weird. So if I hit on normal, select auto smooth, you can see everywhere else is smooth but the sharp edges. So I'll do the same for this, shade smooth, auto smooth, and No, I think basically we can say we are done with the exterior of the car. I'd just like to add one more thing here, that it's a spoiler that kind of like for aerodynamics. It doesn't need to be there, but it gives the car some level of beauty. So I'll call it today for today. Thanks for joining me again. If you've gotten this far in the video, please like, subscribe, and comment, and tell me what more you'd like to see, what kinds of content you'd like to see, and do have a great